of course this relies on teamwork. You know, sure we need teamwork, especially if we're going to work as a team. You know, a group of people with the same interests. You know, you could have a football team, a stamp collecting team, a team of lawyers, a team of, you know, demonstrators, protesters, whatever. Interest groups. Groups of people with different interests. Some people don't like football, some people prefer tennis, you know. Love 13. But whatever group it is, there's one family that you belong to, and that's the family of the human race. So of course, we're all a team as a human race. Humanity, that's what we are all interested in. That's our teammanship, humanity, you know. And I'm a man, I'm a human. I know what it feels like. I can't ask a book or, right, you know, I can read books about people's experiences about how they are, but, you know, humanity is something you have to experience as a human. You couldn't ask a dog or a cat, what's humanity? Maybe you could. Excuse me, I got a bit of sniffle. It's foggy. Teammanship, you know, team. Of course we need to be a team. Of course we need to pull together. And we also need to make sure we're looking after the quiet ones, the ones that can't, you know, the ones that are not speaking out that they need help, you know. We all need help, so if somebody's not asking for something, you know, it's keeping it secret. For sure, we could all live off and learn to live autonomously on our own steam, you know, our own self-determination outside of the system. I think it's possible. It's not a lot of fun though, and we're here for a purpose. One big family, one big team. So for me, the teammanship is based around humanity, which means I can't have an us and them. For sure, there's like people I consider to be those people that I don't like to talk to or associate with, because they're just a pain in the ass. Pain in the ass. But it doesn't mean to say that I have to not help them or not wish them well or not do things for them. It's just at a distance, you know. I mean, you know how it is if you're a worker, you know, you got a job to do and you go and do it, you know, and the person's your customer and you understand their needs, but you just don't probably get on with that type of person. Nothing personal. But we're all a team of humanity. So what belongs to that teammanship? Well, you know, I suppose there's three things, isn't there? You know, there's being able to like look after yourself, and there's being able to be looked after if you need to. You know, everybody falls into time of need, so it's a skill actually being able to be looked after. You know, allowing someone else to help you. Something that a lot of us struggle with. I've got to admit myself, you know, sometimes I'd rather quietly sneak off and with my illness and my anger and worries and everything. But it's great to be helped, and it's great to help. It's great for somebody to ask you for help and you think, wow, I can actually help. It gives you yourself a great feeling when you can help someone else. So if nobody asks anybody for help anytime, then nobody's going to be of value. Everybody's going to have to push themselves on everybody else. You know, I'll help you. No, I don't need it. Yes, you do. Now, you know, so we need to learn to be able to accept help. Hello.
Hello.
Need to learn to accept help. Need to be able to look after ourselves, and we need to be able to give help. You know, it's three phases. You know, it's a good middle start if we can look after ourselves, you know, and then look out for others, you know, like, you know, that's our security system, isn't it? Just having enough energy to have the world in the corner of your eye, having enough resources to be able to give somebody else something. You know, having double what you need just for the other person. And then there's being able to help others. You know, I think if you're intelligent enough and you can look around and see what people need and stuff, then you can help a lot of people in one small go. Or at least help them with an answer of how to work together to get that thing. So if we was to like plough and sow the seeds on a field and then like sow the harvest, you know, together, you know. Someone needs to, obviously it's going to be a small group, that's not a humanity mission. But at the same time, it's a kind of thing that every man wants to eat, you know, every man wants a shelter, so it's going to be helping each other. This is where the virtues of selfishness, I felt were really important, you know, but a lot of people don't like that, you know, the Ayn Rand concept and call selfishism. Yeah, there's, you know, selfishness. It's about the self. You know, I mean, I think I think it'd be worth teaching people, be completely selfish, kids and that, you know. We're always saying don't be selfish. Now there's a difference between selfish and egoistic. Selfish is making sure that your life is the centre of your life. Not that you're the centre of everybody's life, but that you're the centre of your life. You know, people should learn selfishness. If we taught it to kids, you know, look after yourself, but do it properly, because you want all your friends to be happy, don't you? You want to make your life a better life. You don't want to just rape and pillage your whole life around you to leave you on your own, sat on a pile of rubble, eating the last chicken bones. You know? So selfishness, you know, try it. Try selfishness. You won't get very far if you don't look after other people while you're being selfish. But obviously, the opposite of being selfish is being altruistic. Constantly trying to work out how to help other people. Charity, putting on other people, feeling for other people and stuff. And obviously there's empathy. I mean, I've got a massive empathy towards people. It's horrible sometimes, especially considering there's a lot of people who just cry wolf, you know, help, help, and you run over to help them and they push you away, and then help, help. So there were constant taxation to humanitarianism. You know, it's a misuse. And I think that's what's happened over the years, is too many people have cried wolf, and now people ignore each other, you know. You don't know who's real and fake these days, because the world itself has got this air of being fake anyway. We're forced to wear masks, you know. But it ain't so bad. We've got freedom of speech, we've got the rights to expression, we can wear different clothes. It's not, you know, it's not as if we're struggling, but something's keeping us all in like this group mentality. And it's not what I call a team of humanity, it's called what I call a group of, oh, it's a train, a group of slaves. You know, we're slaving ourselves through the money. You know, society's like glued together by this money. You know, that's what makes a team out of society. That's what makes people give up on their humanitarian values. That's what makes people ignore their neighbours and not need and depend on their friends, is because they've got their own little modular life in a secret relationship with the government. You know, people say my money. It isn't my money, it's the government's money. It's the government's money that represents a promissory power that you're going to get back if the government doesn't collapse before you spend it. So money is a great idea and things, but you know, it leads to obsession. It leads to this crazy obsession, and it leads to like being insecure into the future, and being scared, and like scared of not existing. You know, existence angst. So teams, you know, I mean, you can get a team together by just paying the people in the team. And I mean, okay, in this society we all use the money, so that's one way of doing it. But at the same time, something should connect a team. The skills of each individual, the individuality of the individuals, the diversity of the individuals would make up a team, like individual puzzle pieces make up a puzzle. Now, you would never want a puzzle where all the pieces were just the same, would you? So each piece has got to fight to be. Hello. Each puzzle piece has got to fight to be its unique piece that it knows it is. Over the years, been squashed into the box, it's become square. All the 5 billion people puzzles have all been squashed and misformed. Everyone's trying to cut the corners off to become normal so that it's easier to fit together. But no, only when we all become our own individual piece again and we start finding our counterpieces around us, saying, yeah, me and you, we make a bigger picture. And us four, we can make even bigger picture. Wow, as 100 people are coming together, we're starting to see. But we're all retaining our individuality. So this is my point, group teamwork is absolutely essential. The puzzle's nothing if you don't put it together. Teamwork's essential, that we work together. But my point is, I want to, bring back this fighting spirit rather than this struggling attitude. To be solutionaries and not problematics. There's a certain point where we've proved that we know that something's wrong. We don't know who's behind it, we don't know who's culpable, but looking for culpability based on suspicion, it could take a lifetime. When it's about getting back to working out what's my role in life? What am I a service to mankind for? And if we're so apt about transparency, revealing something that we're seeing, if we're so fixed on this idea that we need to wake people up with the terrible things that are to come and the terrible things that are in life and the terrible things that were, if we're going to do that, we need to make sure that it's all, within correctness. How can I say it? The whole thing's got very much sort of like a snidey, mocking mob, And there's a lot of people who, there's a lot of people who just can't see the government as being, so evil or anything. There's a lot of loyalists who just go along with the way it is. And they're not going to be convinced by scary stories and that, because they just won't believe it, because their belief in money and government is more than in anything else. Money replaces the need to believe in yourself. We have to believe in ourselves and each other before we can trust each other. So really, at the point where we stop being obsessed by the money and being more looking at what skills we have, what we can do for each other as individuals, and how we can come together, and at what points we connect. And at that point, we're a team. And before that, we're just a collective. If there's a group of people who don't know what they're doing together, it's just a collective waiting for a command. And that's what got us in this madness in the first place. So the only way out of this madness is if we look after each other and get each other back into the fighting spirit. Fighting isn't struggling. We shouldn't be struggling. We should be having a fighting spirit. There's far too much struggling going on. So yeah, it's about looking at solutions, even if we have to look at the problems and turn them round and decide, okay, if this wasn't the way we're seeing it, if it's absolutely opposite for some other reason, even if it's just analysis, we shouldn't just be out there just looking for who's to blame or who to, to hold culpable or responsible for the misfortunes of the world. We was born into this world, we don't really deserve anything. except a chance to turn it right, a chance to be loved and love and share. Alright, I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching and thanks for being a part of the team, the organic team that we're all connected by the heart and the soul. Have fun. See you later. Cheerio.